Oshiomole can't talk federal government out of his failures. So Oshiomole cannot talk federal government out of its failures, written by Patrick Ochoga. Okay, I know that Oshiomole has been trying to speak in favor of Tinubu and APC government at federal level, but now he cannot succeed in doing that because everybody knows what is happening now, and everybody knows that the government has failed, starting from top to bottom. So the Edo State government has lambasted immediate past governor Senator Adams Oshiomole for disparaging development initiatives in the state, especially in agricultural reforms and feeding programs for the vulnerable. So the state government, in a statement signed by Special Advisor to Governor Godwin Obaseki on media, Cruzo Osagi, said it is most disappointed. It is more disappointing that someone of Senator Oshiomole's standing will take to national television to make statements that he knows to be completely false for the purpose of scoring cheap political points. The governor's aide, while railing the government's programs to reduce the hardship and suffering of Edo people in the wake of the difficult living conditions in the country arising from the various policies that have been implemented by the federal government, urged the federal government to approach state government to understudy it thoroughly, okay, thought out mode of supporting the vulnerable in Edo State to fine-tune their model, which is fraudulent, which is fraught with irregularities and lack of transparency. So the statement said, the attention of the Edo State government has been drawn to comments by the former governor of the state, Senator Adams Oshiomole, in which he disparaged Governor Godwin Obaseki agricultural reforms and the state's feeding program for the vulnerable, amid other statements aimed at undermining the government's laudable achievement. Which laudable achievement do they have in Edo State? So the government is most disappointed that someone of Senator Oshomole's standing will take to national television to make statements that he knows to be completely false for the purpose of scoring cheap political points. Oshiomole, who is now representing just a section of the state, Edo North Senatorial District, after superintending over the entire state as a governor, is expected to display more maturity and decorum and ensure that he rises above parochial partisan interest. So he ought to empathize with his people who are now reeling from the avoidable pains inflicted on them by EU-deployed federal government policies imposed by the All Progressive Congress administration, for whom Oshiomole now acts as a spokesman, discountenancing the genuine displeasure being expressed by the people through the ongoing #EndBadGovernance protest in Edo State and across the country. Okay. So now, Edo State government now is the one trying to lambast Oshiomole here. Oshiomole is trying to criticize the Edo State government agricultural program in the state. Okay. And now in response to Oshiomole's bashing, the state government has come out now to tell him, look, you cannot sweet talk federal government and APC-led administration out of what is happening now, out of the government's failure. Okay? After all, what is the cause of this protest that's ongoing now? It's government failure at all levels. Government failure at all levels. They solve problem from the branches, leaving the root. Okay? So they give palliatives, they say they want to give loans and grants. That does not solve the problem. Go and look at your monetary policies that are fingering every time, and also go and start, doing things that every average Nigerian will benefit, starting with the removal or restoration of the first subsidy and the removal of the naira being floated. the exchange rate being floated so that the economy can get back a bit. Okay, and then reduce the fuel pump price to what it has always been before you got into the office. But I know that they will not do it. Even the PDP Edo has reminded them to go and do those things. APC government led by Tinubu will never do it. That is it. So we've got some comments here, and somebody said, Oshona Mumu, can you imagine? Is it today that you know Oshomole with his shameless statements? No need to worry about him. So somebody saying your generation is useless and shameless. Can you imagine? Somebody supporting Oshomole there. Oshomole is a double talker. His major problem is that he talks before he thinks. Oshomole should be ashamed of himself. It is now understood that what they say is indifferent to what they are doing. Abi? Is it indifferent or is different from what they are doing? They say one thing and they do another thing. That is how APC government is. What they say is not what they do. They say one thing and then they go do another thing. So now that the Edo State government has reacted to Oshomole's criticism, let me also see how Oshomole will react to this. We're expecting him to say something because in Nigerian politics, it's word for word, mouth to mouth, and everyone just want to counter every other person's statement. So the thing here now is Oshomole cannot criticize Obaseki. I think one thing Obaseki has done very well is payment of salaries. Those state people are very happy with that. And even the minimum wage, he is the person paying above the minimum wage and has also agreed to pay the current minimum wage and elevate it a bit. So I think his own government has done well when it comes to salary, just like Delta State. Delta State don't owe salary at all, unlike other states like Ogun, Ondo, and all those places. So now that Oshomole has been, blasted, let him now come back and respond to Obaseki and his government. This is PDP versus APC now. Remember, we just got the news about Okpebholo, diverting food and money meant for the Edo Central Senatorial District, where he came from. And that is also yet to be properly unraveled. What is his name? Okpebholo need to come and respond to that allegation. So thank you for listening. Let's have a comment. That is what is ensuing between Oshomole and Edo State government under Obaseki.